Good morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's take a moment to become present. Find a nice, comfortable seated position on a cushion, a blanket, towel, block, something that allows the spine and the back of the neck to become nice and long and tall, opening up your chest and opening up your diaphragm and opening up your heart. Gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. And soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present and returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention I'd like to talk about is contentment. We've been talking about the Niyamas, which are the second limb of yoga. And the Niyamas consist of 5 guidelines on how to interact with yourself. The second Niyama, Santosha, is Sanskrit for contentment. There's an example that I love of what I think is contentment. And it goes like this. This is, "What day is it?" asked Pooh. "It's today," squeaked Piglet. "My favorite day," said Pooh. Contentment is the gateway to happiness and satisfaction from within, without relying on possessions or attachments. Pooh found contentment in just allowing the day to be what it is. He knows a bad day or discontentment will be present if you expect or attach it to being different from what it is. It's a lovely guideline. So for this morning's meditation, I'd like to do a guided meditation. It's called Smiling Meditation. And it's a meditation card, or it's a card that I got from this pack, Live Your Yoga. And there's all sorts of wonderful cards in there, different themes. And this meditation encourages playfulness and joy by shining our smile throughout our body. Physically smiling tells the brain to release happiness chemicals. So it goes like this. I'm going to read from the card. Come into an easy seat and close your eyes. Take a moment to center yourself. Take a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Start to smile. Perhaps think of a happy moment as a way to encourage the smile. Notice how your face feels. Notice how the breath feels. Let the smile go and bring it back a few times. When the smile, even a slight smile, starts to feel natural, hold it. Feel the warmth of the smile spread over your face until you feel your whole head is smiling. Slowly send the warmth of the smile throughout your body until your whole body is smiling. Feel the light, the warmth, the joy of the smile radiate from you in all directions. When you are ready, gently open your eyes and take your smile out to the world. Alrighty, let's begin our asana practice. I will join you on the mat. Actually, on the light. Bring in a little electronic sunshine. So let's start this morning with a few shoulder shrugs, just a little, just to kind of loosen up your upper body, maybe release any tension that you may have in your neck or shoulders. Just gently rolling them one way and then gently rolling the other way. I was reminded this week that actually shoulder shrugs are up and down, up and down. And I tried that for a while. And you can do that if you wish, but I think the rolling seems to be more gentle, relaxing. Although the shrug, when you bring it up and then you release it, that feels really good. So let's bring our fingertips to the side and do a few sun breaths with some chest openers. So inhaling, bringing your hands up overhead. Palms come together and then palms come to your heart center. And then palms open up, making goalpost arms. And try to bring them as far back as what feels comfortable. Just try and open up that chest. And then bringing your palms back together again. Then up overhead. And then gently let them float back down to the mat. We'll do a few more of these, adding our breath to it. So inhale, up. Palms come together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep inhale, opening up your palms. And exhale, closing them in front of you. Inhale, bringing them up overhead. And then gently release, bringing them down on the exhale. And inhale up. Palms together. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale up overhead. And exhale, floating down. One last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, up. And exhale down. We're going to roll down on our back. And this morning I'd like for you to extend your legs, pointing your toes toward the end of the mat, bringing your arms out. We're just going to slowly roll with control, one vertebrae at a time, till we reach the mat, and then bring our arms overhead and really stretch, pushing our toes to the end of the mat and reaching our fingertips up toward the top of the mat. Nice big stretch. And then bring your hands back down to the mat so the palms are on the mat. We slide the sole of your right foot up along the inner part of your left leg till it reaches your left knee and your legs become a figure four. And then we'll bring the right ankle on top of the left leg, just above the knee. And then lift our left leg up, coming into reclined pigeon pose. Our left leg is at a 90-degree angle. Both sets of toes are pointing up to the sky. The right knee is guiding with your hand. You can try to guide it over toward the right side of your mat. And you can interlace your hands behind your left thigh and gently guide your left leg toward your chest. And gently breathe through this. If there's any tension here, you can just send some nourishing breaths to that tension. And then we're going to set the left foot down on the mat and slide that left foot all the way down, keeping our right foot on our left leg. Back to figure four. And then with our left arm out in goalposts, so the arm comes out from your shoulder into a goalpost, we're going to take the right hand and guide the right leg all the way over, creating an arch and bringing it over to the left side. And then slide the right leg back down. We're going to reach our arms up overhead again, creating a nice big stretch, reaching one way with our hands and pushing the other way with our toes. Nice big stretch. And then we'll do that on the other side. So bring your hands back down to the mat. Palms are on the mat. We'll take the sole of your left foot, slide it along the inner part of your right leg. And then bring that left ankle onto your right leg, just above the knee, creating that figure four. Lift the right leg up so that it's at a 90-degree angle. It's as if you're sitting in a chair. Both toes are flexed and pointed up to the sky. Wrap your hands around the back of your right thigh and gently guide that right leg toward your chest, keeping your left knee out to the left. And some nice deep breaths, some nice nourishing breaths. And bring that right foot down to the mat, slide that right foot all the way down to the end, coming back to figure 4. To bring the right arm out to goal pose, and we're going to arc the left knee so that it comes all the way over to the right side. And then bring it back and slide both legs down. We're going to bring both knees to your chest and give them a nice gentle hug. And then we're going to roll up to our tabletop. So you can do that. You can roll over to the side and come into a tabletop position on your hands and knees. Or if you'd like, you can use this knees to chest as a nice massage to your back, and rock and roll all the way up to a seated position. Cross your legs and then lean over your legs, coming into the tabletop. In the tabletop, your fingers are spread nice and wide, gripping the mat today, just adding additional strength to your fingers by gripping the mat. Pushing down into your hand so that you create that nice long arm and space between your shoulders and your ears. Knees are right below your hips, navel's tucked to the spine. We'll do a few head turns, so we're just gonna, where we're gazing straight down now, we're gonna turn our gaze to the right. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, turn the gaze to the left. Exhale back to center. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale to the right, keeping that pressure in your hands. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back to center. One more time to the right. Back to center, and one more time to the left. Back to center. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So we're going to drop our head down, tucking our tailbone down, rounding our back, really feeling that stretch along your spine. And then inhale, lifting the head and the tailbone up, sending the gaze straight ahead for cow. Again, rounding the back, dropping the head, tailbone down. Inhale up, head comes up, tailbone is up. And then rounding the back for cat on the exhale. Inhale for cow. And just continue at your own pace for a few moments. As slow or as fast as what feels comfortable for you today. Just feeling that synchronization between your breath and your body movements. And we'll come back to a neutral spine again, back to tabletop. We'll do a few bird dogs, so bringing our knees together underneath our hips. We'll lift our right leg up, so it's parallel to the mat. Our hips are nice and straight to the mat, and then lifting our left arm up. Toes are pointed on the right foot for inhale. Flex your foot for exhale. Point for inhale, flex for exhale, 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 And bring both hand and leg back down. We'll do that on the other side. So lifting your left leg up, pointing your toes. Hips are parallel to the mat. Lifting your right arm up. Point for inhale. Flex for exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. Flex, exhale. Point, inhale. And flex, exhale. And bring both hands and knees back down. And then look down to see where your hands are, the palms of your hands. And then we're going to bring our elbows right to where the palms of the hands are. Our hands are pointing toward the top of the mat, kind of in a Sphinx arm mode. But then we're going to walk our knees back and bring our chest down toward the mat, coming into extended puppy. So walk your knees back to the point where you're the third eye and come down to the mat. Your chest is reaching toward the mat. And then we're going to slide our hands back toward us as we lower our hips down to our ankles, coming into extended child pose. Feel a nice stretch in your arms and your spine. And then we'll come back up to tabletop, tucking our toes under. Walk our hands back, coming up onto our toes, and then pushing down, coming up into mountain pose. And as you may have noticed, we didn't do a pranayama this morning. So here it is. Any guesses? I'll remove the guesswork. It's called the breath of joy. So breath of joy is kind of like conducting an orchestra. And then there's 3 inhales and 1 big long exhale. And it goes like this. So you inhale, 1, inhale, 2, inhale, 3, and exhale, 4, bending our knees. So inhale, 1, inhale, 2, inhale, 3, exhale, 4, really letting it out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 It's like you're conducting the Ode to Joy, Beethoven's 9th Symphony. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yay! And I am sure you were smiling all the way through that. So back to mountain pose. But let's just take a moment to calm our system down and get grounded. So we're going to lift and spread our toes wide apart. And then bring them down to the mat, lifting our heels up and then lowering them back down to the mat. And we're really feeling that grounding, that stability, that security that comes in connecting to the earth. And then for mountain pose, just essentials of good posture. Our legs nice and straight and strong, gentle bend in our knees, navel's tucked to our spine. Spine is nice and long, back of our neck's nice and long. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back, helping with that elongation of the spine. Chin's tucked back a little bit so you're not jutting your head out. You're just kind of bringing your chin over your chest. The crown of your head is reaching up to the sky. And then we're going to take a big inhale, sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. And then bringing our hands all the way back down to the mat, bending our knees as we go to protect our lower back. And just check in here for a moment. All systems seem good. So inhale, lifting our hands up to our shins, flattening out our back. Gaze is sent down straight, helping with that elongation of the spine. And then sending the crown of our head down toward the mat. And just let gravity take over here for a moment. Maybe just kind of swing your hands back and forth. Not letting them touch down, just kind of letting gravity take over the rest of the body. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Bringing ourselves up onto our tippy toes. And today we're going to go back to our old friend, the palm tree. So just kind of sway here for a moment. I heard that the groundhog did not see his shadow. So spring is supposed to be on its way. So we can start thinking about palm trees and summer breezes. And then lowering your heels, bringing your hands back down to the mat, bending your knees as you go. Inhale, sweeping your hands up to your shins, flattening out your back. Maybe bending your elbows and bringing them all the way up, sliding your hands all the way to the top of the thighs. Really feel that nice straight spine that's created. And then slowly sliding your hands back down, dropping the crown of your head down toward the mat. And then sweeping your hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. And for our side stretch today, we're going to take our right hand, wrap it around our left wrist. And then we're going to bring, kind of gently guide our left hand over to the right side as we create a nice crescent shape. And then back up again. And then reverse. Left hand goes around our right wrist. And then we're going to take our right hand, guide it over to the left. And then back up again. And then sweeping our hands back down, we go, bending our knees as we go. Hands come to your shins, half forward fold, nice flat back. Then dropping a crown of our head down toward the mat. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. And bringing them up, and I'm actually going to turn sideways. We're going to come into a chair pose. So bring your hands down a little bit as you're dropping your hips down toward the mat. Your knees aren't to be in front of your toes. Make sure you're still able to see your toes. And then we're going to come up and then send our right foot back and our arms back like in airplane arms. So then we'll sweep our hands back up, coming back down into chair pose. And then pushing down, we're going to create a nice fluid movement, sweeping our hands back, sending our left foot back this time. Then sweeping our hands back up, coming back down into the chair pose. And then sweeping our hands back, sending our right foot back. We'll do this a few more times. Get a nice rhythm, alternating our feet as we go. Sweeping hands up, extending our foot and arms back. Sweeping up, chair pose. Sweeping our hands back, foot goes back. And one last time, chair pose. And then back to the right, chair pose. And back on the left. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead again. Bringing them back down to the mat. Bending our knees as we go. Bringing them to the shins. Nice flat back. Sending the crown of our head down toward the mat. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And palms come to the back of our hips. Our feet come about hip width apart. Shoulders are nice and relaxed and rolled back. Chin is tucked to your chest. And then just gently roll your shoulders back, coming into supported back bend. Keeping your gaze from going up, either straight ahead or looking down. And come to that sweet spot where your breath is nice and flowing. And then come back up to mountain pose. Well done, everyone. Okay, so from mountain pose, we're going to lift our right leg up and send it in back of us, and we're going to have it land on an angle so that our foot is pivoted, our toes are pointing out at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to come into warrior one. So our knee is in a lunge position, the knee is over the ankle. We'll send our arms up, and you can either have your torso facing the corner of the mat or facing straight ahead, whichever was more comfortable for you. So warrior one. And then we'll drop our arms down, bring them in back of our hips, interlacing our fingers. We're gonna go into a humble warrior. So you can do this in either way. So you can either modify humble warrior, so you're leaning out over, your torso is over your left thigh and arms are straight out. Or if you want, you can come down fully, your left shoulder is coming down toward your left knee, arms are extended up toward the sky, and you're looking back to your right foot. And then we'll come back up and release our hands and come into warrior two. So we're going to turn our torso so it's facing the long side of the mat. Our front leg still in a lunge position. So you see our big toe. Gently turn your head to look at your left fingertips. Lifting your left fingers up toward the sky. Right hand comes down for peaceful warrior. And then bringing your left arm to the top of your left thigh, extended side angle. And you can either have your hands straight up, your right hand straight up, opening up your chest. or sending your right hand toward the front of the mat. And then we'll bring our right hand down to the mat, pivoting, coming into runner's lunge. And then we're going to bring our left foot back to join our right foot and come into plank. So our wrists are right below our shoulders, heels, there we go. Heels are pushing back, navel's tucked to the spine. We'll lift our right leg up and cross it over the left leg and bring it down to the mat, just touching down, and lift it back up and bring it back to where it was. So back to plank. So again, lift the right leg up, cross it over the left, touch it down the mat, lift it back up, and bring it back to plank. And one more time, lift the right leg up, cross it over, touch down, lift it back up, and come back to plank. And then we're gonna drop down to the mat, either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. And bringing our fingertips right below our shoulders. We're gonna lift our chin and our chest up, lifting the hands off the mat for baby cobra. And then hands come back down and gently push down into the mat, bringing our chest and chin up into cobra. And then we're going to tuck our toes under and lift our hips up to downward dog. And make it one nice smooth move. And pedal out in downward dog here for a moment or two. And then we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow, pushing off with our left foot. So inhale, bringing it to our elbow, and then back again, pedal out. And then bringing the right knee to the right elbow again, and back to downward dog, pedal out. And the last time we're going to bring our right foot between our hands, coming back to runner's lunge. So inhale, lifting our right leg, bringing it all the way up and guiding it to the spot where your hands are framing it in runner's lunge. And then we'll push down into the right foot, lifting our left leg and bringing it to forward fold. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And then we're going to come into tree pose. So we're going to lift the right leg up again. Just find that stability. And then you can either, with your tree pose, have your toe on the mat with your ankle on, or your heel on your ankle. Or bring your foot to your shin. Or bring your foot to your inner thigh. Your navel tucked to the spine helps that stability. And if you'd like to raise your hands up overhead, creating a nice growing tree, nice stretch. And then bringing your hands down. Well done. We'll do that on the other side. So back to mountain pose. We're going to lift the left leg up and send it in back of us, coming into warrior one position. So our front leg is on a lunge, knees over the ankle. Back foot is at an angle, 45-degree angle. Toes pointing out. You can lift your arms up and have your torso either pointing toward the corner or pointing toward the top of the mat. And then bringing your hands down, we're going to interlace our fingers behind our hips, gently rolling our shoulders back, opening up our chest. So you do the modification, so bringing your torso over your right thigh, sending your yoga lock, your interlaced fingers out behind you, or sending your right shoulder down to your right knee and sending your hands up to the sky. And then come back up, pushing down, coming into warrior two, turning your torso so it's facing the long side of the mat. Your knees still over your ankle. You can see your big toe. And then gently turning your head to look at your right fingertips. And sending your right fingertips up. Left hand comes down for peaceful warrior. And then bringing your right arm down to your right thigh, sweeping your left hand up, either straight up to the sky, opening your chest, or sweeping your left hand to the front of the mat. And then bring your left hand back down to the mat, pivot so you come into runner's lunge. And then we'll send that right foot back to join the left, coming into plank pose. Our shoulders are right above our wrists. Heels are pushing to the back of the mat. Navel's tucked to the spine. And we're going to lift our left leg up, cross over the right, touch down on the mat, lift it back up again, and bring it back to plank pose. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift the leg up, cross it over, touch down, then lift up and back to plank pose. And one last time, lift the leg up, cross over, touch down, lift back up, and then come back to plank pose. And then we'll bring ourselves down to the mat, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Keeping our fingers right below our shoulders. We're going to lift our chin and chest up, lifting our hands off the mat for baby cobra. And then bringing our hands back down, elbows tucked to the side, gently pushing up, coming into cobra. And then tucking our toes under and coming up into downward dog, lifting our hips up to the sky. We'll pedal out here for a few moments. Guiding our chest toward our thighs. Create that lift in your hips. And then we're going to bring our left knee to our left elbow, pushing off with our right toes. So inhale, lifting the left knee to the left elbow, and then back again, and pedal out. And then lifting the left knee up again, bringing it to the left elbow, and then bring it back and pedal out. And then the last one, we're going to bring our left foot up so that we're in runner's lunge. So inhale, lifting the left foot up, sending it all the way up between our hands, coming into runner's lunge. And then push down that left foot and lift your right foot up and bring it side by side, forward fold. And then sweeping our hands all the way up overhead. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And we'll do tree pose on the other side. So lifting your left leg up now. Find that stability. In your choice of your tree pose. Toe on the mat, ankle on, or heel on the ankle, or sole of your foot on your inner calf, or all the way up, sole of your foot on your inner thigh. And then when you're ready, you can raise your arms up and over. And then bring them down, bring your leg down. Well done. Okay, so bring your pinky toes to the edges of the mat, tucking your heels in, 45-degree angle. Hands come to heart center. We'll come into a wide-legged squat. So we're gonna lower our hips down toward the mat, bringing our torso between our legs, the backs of our elbows resting on the inner part of our knees. And just take a few deep breaths here. And then bring our sit bones down. And we can roll down, your choice of how you would like to roll down. I'm going to use the express method. Bringing my knees up to my chest. We'll all land with our knees to our chest. And just give our knees a nice gentle hug. Maybe rock our lower back, rock back and forth so our lower back has a nice massage. And then we'll walk our hands down our legs, or actually if you want, you can lift your feet up to the sky first. Walk our hands down so that our hands are wrapped around the outer edges of our feet or ankles, coming into happy baby. So the soles of our feet are facing up to the sky. And if you want to focus on your lower back, try to guide that tailbone down toward the mat, a nice stretch. And bring our feet together, and we're going to bring our legs out so that we're as if we're sitting in a chair. They're at a 90-degree angle. Toes pointing up toward the sky. We're going to bring our hands behind our head and interlace our fingers, creating a nice gentle cradle for our head. And then we're going to lift our head and our chest up. And that the hands are not doing the work here. It's the chin and the chest that are lifting the head up. And your hands are just, you can remove them easily, but you're just kind of supporting them. And then we're going to do some twists here. So we're going to bring our right elbow toward our left knee, extending our right leg out. And then bring it back. And our head and our chin and our chest are still up off the mat. Still lightly supporting by our hands. And then we'll do that on the other side. So we'll bring our left elbow toward our right knee, extending our left leg out. And then back again. We'll do that again on the right side. So right elbow to the left knee, extending the right foot out. And then back again. Left elbow to right knee, extending the left leg out. And then back again. And then we'll lower our head and our chest to the mat, keeping our legs where they are. We'll just lift our legs up toward the sky 3 times. So lifting up, you can have the soles of your feet facing up toward the sky, and then bringing them back down to that chair position. Again, lift up, and then back down again. And one more time, lift up, and then back down again. So we're do that one sequence. So we're going to do that again. So lifting your chest and your chin and your head up off the mat. Again, your hands just providing support as a cradle. We're going to take our right elbow, pointing it toward the left knee, extending the right leg out. And then come back. Left elbow to right knee, extending the left leg out. And back. Right elbow to left knee, extending the right leg. Come back. Come back. Left elbow to right knee, extending the left leg. And then come back again. And then lowering the head back down to the mat. Keeping our chair position, we're going to send our feet up to the sky. And then back down again. Another one, sending them up to the sky. And back down again. And for the third time, back up to the sky. And back down again. And we'll do that sequence one last time. So right elbow to left knee, extending the right leg. Keeping your head up and chin up off the mat. Left elbow to right knee, extending the left leg. And then back. Right elbow to left knee, extending the right leg. And back. Left elbow to right knee and back. And then lowering your head and your chest back down to the mat. Sending your feet up to the sky 3 times. So lifting them up. And then back down. For 1, lifting them up. And then back down for 2. And one last time, lifting them up. And then back down for 3. So then remove your hands from behind your head and send your arms out straight from your shoulders. And we'll do a recline twist. So we're going to exhale, dropping our knees to the right side. And then slowly turning our head to look at our left fingertips. And then gently turning our head back to center, lifting our knees back to center, and then dropping our knees to the left side. And then slowly turning our head to look at our right fingertips. And then turning our head back to center, lifting our legs back to center, and sending our legs down to the bottom of the mat and preparing for Shavasana. So gently send your heels out to the corners, let your feet just flop. Release your body into the mat. Maybe take a few inhales and exhales and just relax and release on the exhale. Allow your body just to connect with the earth. Today's poem is by Danna Faulds, titled Joy for No Reason. I am filled with a quiet joy for no reason, save the fact that I am alive. The message I received is clear. There is no time to lose from loving, no place but here to offer kindness, no day but this to be my true, unfettered self and pass the flame from heart to heart. This is the only moment that exists. So simple, so exquisite, and so real.